Good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing today on Wonderful Wednesday? And again, it is another great day to be alive and another gift, not only to receive, but to give as well. I am so humbled and honored to have a great friend of mine and one of our new team leaders here at Bring Humanity Together. His name is Gregory Spiller. He is our technical principal here at Bring Humanity Together. And I asked him a few weeks ago, I said, I would love for you to come share your story on Conversation for Humanity. So, here in the near future, you will start seeing our team members and team leaders here at Bring Humanity Together come share their stories on Conversation for Humanity moving forward. And today's going to be a special event because of that. So today, what we're going to end up doing is we'll be not only posting this on LinkedIn Live, but also we'll be having it, of course, on our regular channel, Conversations for Humanity with Chris Berryman on that YouTube channel. But also we'll be posting this very video on our other YouTube channel, which is Bringing Humanity Together. And that is our other platform that we have on YouTube, which will be more general in nature. But this will be another great way for you to meet our great and growing team here at Bringing Humanity Together. And the man himself is now here with us today. Gregory, hello there. How are you doing today on Wonderful Wednesday?
Doing fantastic, Chris. Thank you for having me, inviting me out.
And I love your background today because it's not Krypton, but it looks like it's actually a home. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, very good, very good. So Gregory, we're so glad that you're here today, and I see Jenny is here with us today. Jenny, we would love to hear from you today. So please, I will be posting the link to the call so you can join the call. So I'll say join the call here. And we would love to have everyone, not only from our LinkedIn community, but also from our YouTube community too as well. We would love for you to join into the conversation today. So just to let you all know, we have up to 10 people that we can actually have on a call. So if you guys want to join in, just send me a message, whether it be on LinkedIn or on YouTube, and I will see it here in our little Chiron that we have on the back end of our platform. And we would like to hear from you. So if you want to join in, just like I said, send a message, whether it be on LinkedIn or on YouTube, and we would love to have you there. So I truly believe you guys are going to be in a great, awesome opportunity to hear what Greg is truly not only all about, but really who he really is. And like I say, Jenny, we're glad that you're here. Please join here. And we would love to have you hear not only Greg's story, but what really even led him to bring humanity together in and of itself. So I truly believe you guys are going to have a great, awesome opportunity to learn more a little bit about all these amazing people here at Bring Humanity Together. Diane, how are you doing today? Glad that you are here and everything like that. I'm all ears today, tucked away in a corner while another webinar going on. Diane, oh my God, you're actually killing it. I mean, my word, that is amazing that you actually, Diane. I appreciate that so much and everything. So I can't wait to hear from you too as well. So, Greg, how things been going for you?
Exciting times. 2024 has been an amazing and interesting year for me so far. Um, like a lot of people, the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic was a challenge for me. And so it's exciting and refreshing to be able to um, have such a great launch into the new year. Many exciting projects and activities going on, both professionally and then personally as well. So I'm super
Right.
excited. I'm in a great space and am loving with what's going on this year.
Awesome, awesome. That is great. And we got a little tidbit into that. because you were talking about today on our leadership call about a theme park, no less.
Yes. So there is a an entrepreneur, Amy Broadnax, who is going to create a theme park here in Texas, on the city of Taylor, which is historically famous for being haunted. So the amusement park that she's creating is based around that type of supernatural phenomenon and experience.
Right?
And then there's a whole community and business park and entertainment district that will be integrated with that. So we're super excited. I'm very proud and honored to be invited to be part of the project team with that. It's very ambitious, very exciting.
Yes, I know Amy very well. She is great people, down to earth, really awesome in and of itself. And like I said, can't wait to see that come to fruition and everything like that. And she's even kind of told me she's like almost like Elon's distant cousin because they're basically well from the same country of origin and everything like that. So I would love to see. I'd like to see Elon's take on that when he says, "Oh my gosh, my distant cousin opened up an actual theme park in Texas." I think Elon would love it. So we'll just have to see how that goes and everything. But how did you get into that though? Because I know Amy is part of our Bringing Humanity Together community, but how did that play out?
So Amy and I actually were kind of attending some of the same LinkedIn events, audio
Right?
rooms or LinkedIn Live, and we had either shared on stage individually, or I think at one point we were on the same stage together. And so she was really interested in what I was sharing at the particular topic, kind of saw my background and my skill set, and then reached out to invite me to be part of the project team.
Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. Uh, but yeah, it was really really awesome when you said shared that with us in our leadership call, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm now putting two and two together because when you said theme park in Texas, the only one that I could come up and think of was Amy and everything like that. So that is great news to hear and everything like that. And I got to reach out to Amy myself because I know it's been a while since I've talked to her. And but that's great news though, and she's got a big vision with that theme park, does she not?
Like I said, it's very ambitious, and not only in the 3D, but also it'll have a digital twin as well. So it'll
Right.
exist in the metaverse and have a completely
Wow.
paired experience, not only in complete metaverse, but also blending augmented reality between the two.
Wow. So I wonder how that will end up coming into pass uh, because to go into the augmented reality space and I kid you not, I've now gotten really somewhat captured by, and I've seen people have done it, Greg, that where they take actual roller coasters and they put it in a 3D world. And I got to ask you this: do we see the evolution of roller coastering to where people can ride a roller coaster even at home?
Absolutely. There are, experiences that kind of exist already for that. And I think as a kind of unintended side effect of that, it increases accessibility for people who may not have physically been able to be able to go to an amusement park to ride that, or physically be capable of actually getting inside the carts, that go around the track. So
Because I think what really captured my eye to one video in particular, and I remember this like it was just yesterday. there's a guy actually had his daughter, and evidently they went to this amusement park some months back or whatever the case may be. I remember it vividly. And what they ended up doing is they had this big screen TV in their living room, and because their daughter's not big enough, I guess, to ride the ride. So
Right,
what
right.
they did is they actually took a camera on the ride, did the ride, and what this guy ended up doing is he had this kind of chair made for her, and what he would do is when the ride goes up, he lifts her up. When the ride goes down, he takes the kid and go down, and then when they turn, he turns, and then when they turn, and she got a kick out of that because she thought she was, I guess, in one way, shape, matter, or form, actually riding that ride. But maybe when you really think about it, it might even go to the next step. Greg, do you know of D Box? Do you know what that is?
I'm not familiar with it.
D Box is the interactive space that a lot of movie theaters have. It's an actual chair,
Or
but
talking
it
about like
does.
4D. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
It
more familiar with that term, the 4D. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I see us, if we was to get a D box in our home, I think that could be there too as well.
Absolutely. Um, I think probably with the virtual reality technology that exists now, how just amazing and interactive it is. If we had another physical component to that, right? Those chairs from those movie theater experiences where it'll rumble, right? It may, articulate forward, backward, up and down, and then adding the atmosphere, right? If it's like raining in the movie, you get misted, things like that,
Right.
or yeah,
Wow.
it could really be an incredible uh, technological achievement as well as a user experience, just taking it to the
Yeah.
next level.
Yeah. Yeah. And I see that happening because I believe, if I remember right, I think Disney was one of the first people to do that in the interactive setting. And that was kind of neat because I believe, if I remember correctly, years ago, Disney, in one of their shows that they did, I think it was called A Bug's Life, they actually did that to where when it was raining, it felt like rain and everything like that. And but I even saw it in a movie theater promo that their seats are actually built for that. That they will have the mist in the water or the air blowing and that kind of thing. I got to ask you, Greg, how did they build out that technology? Do you think?
Well, I know Disney had a elite team of um, engineers that he called Imagineers,
Right.
right? And actually, someone that I knew earlier in life, their father was an actual Imagineer for Disney proper, and just
Right.
to be able to listen to conversations about projects that he worked on and things that they were trying to accomplish was really incredible. But yeah, there's plenty of things that have projects and experiences that are already existing that can just be, I guess, combined like Voltron, right? And then made into something better than the sum of its parts.
Right. Right. And I remember Voltron very well and everything. That was a great cartoon in and of itself. But now we're going to the Wayback Machine because there was even a show that was kind of in the Voltron era, but it was before Voltron, and I forget who it was that created it, but it was out of Japan. And I remember watching it on Saturday morning TV, and I have to go find it because it was really, it was along the same lines, and it was just an awesome one. But you just struck me with that and everything like that, so it was really good. Oh my word! Guess who's now joined us, Greg? It is Jenny. Hello, Jenny. How
Hey.
are you
Hi.
doing today?
Oh my gosh. Stranger danger. No. I'm so good. How are you all?
Doing well, doing
Excellent.
well. It's been a while, ma'am.
It has. It's been a month. It's been a
Well,
month,
you've
but
been very busy the last month.
yes, it feels like a year.
Yeah, I've been super excited to follow along with what you got going on. Congratulations
Yeah,
on your
thank
win.
you. Thank you.
That is amazing, Jenny. And I'm glad that you're here because Greg, I'm sure, has a great story to share, and I'm glad that you're here for it and everything. And like I said, I can't wait to start speaking to you and collaborating with you moving forward and everything. But, Greg, it is about that time of the hour for you to come share your story with us here at Conversations for Humanity. So it is that time. So please, Greg, come share your story with us here on Conversations for Humanity.
Well, I'm not entirely sure, what you want to know or how far back you want to go. Like, do we start with the
It's
Earth
all up
cooled,
to you, man. It's all you.
the Earth cooled, and then the dinosaurs came? Like, is that too far back?
I don't care. It's all you, man. You take it where you want to take it.
Well, I guess we can kind of jog through that. So I was born in Hartford, Connecticut, on the East Coast, but my family became a blended family pretty early on, and so I moved with my blended family to Southern California before I was 5, and I grew up there and lived in Southern California until I was in my mid-20s and became a dad myself. Um, from there, I took my family and we kind of settled in Phoenix, Arizona, which we were there for well over 2 decades. Now that my kids are grown, and now I'm here in Austin, Texas, closer to my family. And so that's kind of quick history about that. Professionally, I've kind of a very non-linear career journey, right? Always looking for the next dare to be great opportunity, no matter what that is. And so I've kind of went from opportunity to opportunity as it was interesting and presented at the time, uh, learning new skills and growing professionally, kind of progressing across different industries and silos. Um, Settled within IT fairly early on, and I've kind of been in that space ever since. But even within that, I've done a lot of things. Within IT, there's a model called the Open Systems Interconnect, which kind of details how every single technology device interconnects and communicates, not only hardware but software and networks and things like that. And so through my professional journey, I've pretty much touched something at every layer of that in some sort of role or function. And then in addition to that, not only just the tech piece, but also like the actual operations of business and how tech organizations and then just non-tech organizations as well use technology to empower and operate.
Wow. So how did that journey start for you into tech though? What was it just a moment or did you fall into it? How did that play out?
That's a great story that I always tell new people that are either just finishing school, entering into tech, or pivoting into technology from another industry. So for me personally, my best friend was the tech person. I wasn't a very big tech person at all, and he was working at a startup company that initially was doing internet service and e-commerce. And so they were in a bit of a growth spurt, and he asked me if I wanted to come work for them. And I said, "Well, I don't have any tech background or skills. I can, write an email and I can surf the web, but that's about as techy as I get." So he broke it down like this. He said, "Well, we're looking for people to work on our help desk to support our customers. Let me ask you a couple questions. Let me know what you think. So first, can you talk to people on the phone? If we give you a list of questions to ask them, can you just do some data entry based on what they share, like verify their account, um, their equipment that they have, ask some basic troubleshooting questions?" Yeah, sure, I could do that. And then he said, if we have some reference documents, called walkthroughs, right, of common problems that people have that have already been fixed. Can you read through the document and then go step by step to try to fix the problem? Yeah, I could do that, no problem. So he said, boom, now you're on the help desk. And that's how my journey began.
Oh my word. So it went from the help desk and then it morphed into something even bigger.
So yeah, that first IT shop I worked in, within the first year of me being there, they pivoted from just being an internet service provider in e-commerce and decided that they were going to now offer voice over the internet for long distance calling services, which in 1998 was very bleeding edge. And then in order to kind of showcase how the voice over the internet worked, one of the software engineers created a conferencing application and got a patent for it, which was even more bleeding edge in 1998. So what we're seeing with Zoom and Teams, he created one of the first applications that actually functioned like that for video and voice over the internet. So
And that was right. And that was
the
right
first.
before even that really was even thought of, was it not?
Correct. And then we had our conferencing application was a keynote feature during the Microsoft XP launch, and was it 2000? I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of our claim to fame, creating conferencing app over voice over IP and being featured in the new Microsoft OS release.
Wow. That's
Now,
like,
your mind blown, Jenny, or what?
yeah, I think it's so super cool. I'm about that techie now as you started out. No, maybe just a little bit more, but not much. But I think that it's fascinating. And it's certainly an area that has grown so much. And I think that with everything that's, how things are transitioning in the world, I mean, I think that the tech is still the place to be and the place to go. It's still growing astronomically faster than any other industry. What do you think about that?
Well, I tried to tell my kids, and then I tell everyone who asks about technology, and then now I say the same thing about AI, right? Computers aren't going away. And this is kind of the
No.
epiphany that I had back in the late 90s, right? So if you take everyone on the planet and you line them up single file from the person who knows the most about computers or AI at this point to the person that knows the least, you want to be as close to the front of the line as possible, right? And if you do that, you're going to be all right.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's so, but it's almost impossible to do. I remember being pretty young and being like, I'm never gonna be my mom or my grandma or whatever that doesn't keep up with the technology and the changing times. And then now I laugh about it all the time because even if it's something that you do every day, it's impossible to, unless that is exactly what you're doing, to be at the front. But do you have any suggestions, right? Like, how can we keep ourselves up to date with all of the changes as fast as they're coming?
That's a great question. So even myself as a technology professional, it's evolving at such a breakneck pace that it's hard for someone like myself just to keep current with it, because especially now with AI being introduced and how exponentially developed that is happening, right? So for the average person who just uses technology, whether it's in their personal life or for how they do their work, right? Find someone like myself that is trying to intentionally keep up with it. Don't be afraid to ask questions, right? Certainly, there are plenty of resources online to kind of be informed of things that are happening like that. Some news groups, websites, email lists, things like that. I know myself on my LinkedIn profile, I try to share a lot of information about what's happening in the tech space to my followers. I do have a audio room that I co-host with someone else where both he and I and our audience are learning about AI together. So we started from the beginning of what we kind of understand is the early iterations of what we now understand to be AI, and then where AI is today, and then what it might look like in the coming future.
Yeah.
Well, I love what Diane just said here, and it's really, really awesome. But think about this: AI is the new electricity in the tech world. It's electrifying everything.
Well,
If you
there's two different ways to look at it, and there's two different approaches of how AI is being used. The first camp is everyone's slapping AI onto everything because that's what everyone else is doing, and no one wants to be the last person to the AI party. But that approach is not the best way to do it, and we've seen some real world problems and backlash happen because of that. For example, I believe one of the airlines had their AI give a customer a refund that they weren't supposed to be issued because their AI wasn't fully baked and tuned before releasing it into the wild. Um, I know certainly the AI chatbots that Microsoft and Google, it took them a couple of re-releases before they were able to get it to perform the way that they wanted. Um, so yeah, certainly just slapping it on to say you have AI is not going to
The
work
way
out too
it's
good for you. But there are other organizations that are taking the time to understand how it can benefit them, really understand how they can integrate it as a tool, both internally and externally. And that those groups, those organizations are going to be able to use it more effectively and have more success by doing so.
Yeah. I love that. And Diane said something else, it's making tech smarter, more intuitive, and a lot more exciting. It's like we're living in the future now. And I am curious your thoughts on AI. I think that AI opens us to be able to reserve our brain energy and be able to use it in new ways, right? So if I can have AI support me in a way that saves me time, that allows me to have that time to be able to be imaginative and innovative, which is something that those little tasks tend to take away from us. So how would you relate that to what we can expect in the future? How do you position that, and how does that help support bringing humanity together? How can we come together over AI and with AI?
That's a great question and a great statement. I would agree. Like there are certainly the immediate benefits of AI and how we use it as a tool is to automate a lot of repetitive tasks and a lot of low level tasks where before maybe we were spending a lot of manual effort and cycles doing that. We can leverage AI to manage our calendars and our schedules and do proofreading and copywriting and maybe help generate content or help augment the content, manage social media presence, things like that. So a lot of those fantastic tools that maybe one person couldn't manage by themselves or even a team of people, right? Which then, to your point, opens up a lot of time to spend with more um, spatial and creative thinking and processes as well.
and when you really think about it, Jenny and Greg, there's always two sides to everything. And when you really think about it, there's always going to be maybe a negative side to something or even a positive side to something. It's two sides of the same coin kind of dynamic. But I got to ask you both, will AI ever replace humanity in one shape, matter, or form? Or do you believe it's going to really be that balancing act, like to Jenny's point, to where we can be more intuitive, be more in step with what we're wanting to do, and we use AI and technology in and of itself as that tool to really bridge the gap of the things that we really want to go, but we have never been there to that place before, and maybe bring everything together to where not only we can bring humanity together, but we can create that there balance there within.
Do you want the tinfoil answer or the humanitarian answer, or both?
It's up
Both,
to you, man.
both.
So, of course, right, there's a lot of ambitions on how AI can benefit humanity. Certainly, within the last month, I've shared a lot of very interesting use cases that are currently in play with AI, including quality management systems for healthcare and education to improve the level of service and manage more successful outcomes, for sure. Even agriculture and food distribution, how they can better manage growth cycles, um, the yield of the crop, and then also to get it to places where there may be, food insecurity and address those types of things. So all amazing stuff that AI is being used for. Other interesting projects that I've come across, there is a group, a startup here in Texas that's using AI and drones to map the ocean, which is a pretty big place to try to map. Another group is trying to build a cellular network that is decentralized using blockchain type technology, and then having AI kind of help administer the network and how voice traffic gets routed over that. So a lot of cool things that will certainly be a benefit and kind of elevate humanity. But the other side of that coin, as you mentioned, right, we need to be careful and mindful about the people that will be displaced by these types of progress. Certainly, like we saw with the Industrial Revolution, they're going to be similar again, right? There are people whose jobs will either be outmoded or replaced by AI. We have to make sure that we help get them on the same page and moving forward with the rest of us so they're not left behind.
I think, and I love that you said that, because that's my biggest thought, is that AI is asking, AI asks of humanity to grow, to expand, to evolve, and opens up the doors for us to be able to do that. But like you said, we have to be very mindful of the people that don't have the assets and the capabilities and the abilities to do that, and bring in those training systems, those education systems, the awareness programs, and all of those things to be able to share AI and what the benefits are, and be able to turn those jobs that are no longer available here, right, make that training available widespread for people to be able to learn the skills that it is that they need to be able to now work in a world that is very much so in cohesion with AI, right?
I think there's a great opportunity as a real world use case study. There's a lot of economic and technology development going on the continent of Africa right now.
Yes.
And it's really exciting to be able to watch that and participate if I can with that, because they're in a unique position where they don't have an existing and aged infrastructure that they have to try to modernize and replace. They can build from scratch, right? And I think with that currently in flight and how that progresses, it can be really an example for the rest of the world of this is how the future of technologies and the city of tomorrow is going to look like.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting with that. And then also the lot of the globalization efforts to make not only the internet but technology accessible for people even in the
Mm-hmm.
most remote of locations, either through fiber trenching or even satellite communications.
Yeah.
And with that, as more people get interconnected and online, there's even more opportunity with that global network interconnectivity, with the technology tools and with AI for people, either as individuals or small businesses, to be able to compete at a level with larger organizations because of these technology tools, up to and including AI.
Yeah, which for, entrepreneurs right now, and small businesses it's an exciting time because the way I see is right, there's systems that are crumbling down, there's systems that are being built up from this grassroots ground up, and there's going to come a time where they're going to come together. And the more that we can allow what's crumbling to crumble while holding on to what is still sustainable, what is still in service to humanity. And if we're building up with those things at the same time, then we can integrate those things and we can have a system that's different than the current system. And will there be things that are, wrong and bugs and all the things? Yes, but can we do that to shift humanity in a different direction? And we absolutely can do that. And I think a big part of responsibility that we have is to speak about that sustainability, those sustainability efforts, and not just, like you brought up something really important. It's not just food and water. And of course, we have to have those things minimally to survive. And we should be speaking about those things. And we should be speaking about equality and equity and, sustainable development and all of those things. But the internet is so important to be able to have that connection, is really, I would hold about it. I would put that on the same plate. I would put that on the same plate as food and water, because community and communication are key to our, key to humanity. And so I think that was a really great point.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I also appreciate, talking about sustainability, right? Coming from the technology sector, there is a lot of intentional effort to execute on sustainability business models, even from the construction phase to operations and then maintenance.
Mm.
And certainly, we're seeing these huge technology companies that providing infrastructure building in a sustainable way, using renewable resources as much as possible, building in a way that isn't going to be as damaging with the waste products to the environment, and then really kind of helping enrich the communities in which they live. So there's a lot of stewardship already built in and embedded and at the forefront of these, as technology and the infrastructure behind it is being built and modernized and future proofed.
Absolutely, and you really think about it, and Monica will bring you in today too as well. We're glad that you're here. When you really think about
Monica and
it,
I are in the same house, apparently.
I
yes,
know. I saw it earlier.
Hi.
yeah.
Hi, guys.
But when you really think about it, everything that we have been given on this planet since probably day one has been a tool that we can use to not only better ourselves but make life a little easier. And it's like what Diane said just a little bit ago about the the change in the climate of our Earth. Climate change has been going on for centuries upon centuries upon centuries. It's already there, and just maybe we can use the tools that have been given to us in a way that creates that balance, that creates that ecosystem. Again, to Jenny's point, that community and connections literally are hand in hand to one another, and we do that in a way that is not only sustainable, but it can grow and thrive just like the very backyard garden that we have. And if we can do that one day at a time, one opportunity at a time, one conversation at a time, I truly believe it's going to really bode well, because when you really think about it, change is going to happen regardless if we want it to or not. It's going to be there. But if we embrace it and we take it in and everything, it's really going to show up well when we not only use that tool for not only our benefit, but we use that tool for the benefit of everybody and everything like that. And again, it goes right back to what we believe here at Bring Humanity Together, that if I help you, you help me, we help we. It's already there. And I just really believe when we do that kind of thing on an intentional dynamic, it will start to flourish out to where we're not going to have the Terminators of the world come kill us all with Skynet and all that kind of stuff. I don't believe that's going to end up happening. It could very well could. Someone could take it, use it for a means to an end, wipe us all out. I'm not saying that will be that black swan event, but let's just pray that only Arnold does that in the movies and everything. But maybe again, we can have the awesome opportunity to literally say, hey, maybe we are going to evolve, and this is the way that we can do it in and everything. So I just love where this conversation is going. Monica, how are you doing today on Wonderful Wednesday?
Hi guys, hi Chris. I'm doing really well, thank you. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. So what's your thoughts when it comes to AI, Monica?
Oh, well, so there's some pros and cons, obviously. I feels like, if we use it wisely, it can really enhance our potential and really support humanity in a good way. However, not everyone has the same sort of perception and the same intention, good intention. So it can be used in a very negative ways as well. So we need to be very mindful here when it comes to AI. I feel it's a great opportunity for us to really embark on a new sort of a level of growth for the world, humanity, and really support one another better. But it can be really detrimental as well.
Well, the great news is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. And I'd really actually have in mind, the fact that we are very detached from ourselves and from one another. So with AI technology, it might isolate people even more. They will start losing jobs. So how we sort of recognize this problem early enough and really bridge that gap, because we need a support for those lower level people, employees, to give them additional training, and perhaps AI can support us to do those sort of lower roles for us, but those people should be uplifted naturally. So humanity won't give the power away to the AI, to robots, because the brain cannot be copied, and it's like we've got some qualities that only humans can have, and then when we recognize this early enough and don't give them too much power and support people who would start losing jobs, then that would be good. But obviously we always have this pros and cons and duality.
Yeah. But I kid you not, though, I got to give some kudos where kudos should be deserved and go to. Greg, I'm going to have to announce something here today. Your live stream right here, right now, is one of the largest being watched right now on LinkedIn that we've had in a very, very long time, if you can believe it or not. Right now, wow. and I don't know how many is watching on YouTube right now, but it's only telling me from LinkedIn. Right now, we have close to almost 15 people watching live right now as we speak on LinkedIn. And that's amazing in and of itself, because, see, we've had many people on our LinkedIn audio calls. So from a video perspective, that's a lot of people. So, Greg, people really want to know who you are. So I believe the next question needs to be asked is, Greg, what even led you here to bring humanity together in the first place?
Well, kind of a similar story is you and I were attending some of the same audio events in some of the same rooms. Maybe shared the stage at different points in time. And I was really impressed and curious about what you shared about bringing humanity together and your vision and your mission. And it really spoke to me and resonated to my own, values and belief system. And that's how I reached out to you to learn more about it. And then having that initial conversation with you really sparked a fire in me to want to be able to do more. With the group, to be able to share my gifts and talents.
So, and if I remember correctly, it was like over a year ago that we actually got connected. Did we not?
Yeah, it was over a year ago, and then at the time, I got caught up with some stuff, and I didn't really have the bandwidth to pursue it a whole lot further. But then once I did have bandwidth freed up, I immediately circled back and was like, Chris, I want to be involved. What can I do to help? How can I contribute?
And now this just hit me with a ton of bricks. Diane, why do you do this, Diane? We were just talking about superheroes on our call on Monday, and here we go yet again, going to Uncle Ben. With great power comes great responsibility. Diane, I love that. Oh, that is so great. And of course, Jenny, you had to join into that too as well. I love that. But let me ask you then, all of you, of this. If we do have that great power and that great responsibility, Diane said, I love Batman.
Oh, me too. Me too. Batman.
Yeah, I love that.
Talking about Uncle Ben and the Waynes, I remember hearing somewhere that in the comic universe, the only characters that actually stay dead are Uncle Ben and Martha and Thomas Wayne. Everyone else comes back in some way or another.
Yeah.
Wow. We're getting deep now. We're going to the Wayback Machine now. Absolutely. But like I said, when it comes to that great power that comes with that great responsibility, not only from a place of leadership and followership and everything in between, but I want to hear from all of you. How do we use that very power that's not only been given to us, but also the power that we recognize that we have? And I will start with you, Jenny. How do we use that?
Everything starts with the self and from the inside, right? So we have to use that to shift our mindsets, shift our belief systems, shift, earlier. And yes, we need to be conscious and we need to set a road for success for people to be able to make those job transitions. But those people in those jobs that are going to become obsolete, they also have a responsibility to recognize that, accept that as hard as it may be, and move forward and start seeking out that other education or that other road that's going to take them and lead them to be able to stay, where they need to be, right? So we can wait for something to like knock us completely out, or we can recognize it and we can prepare. It's no surprise that it's coming, right? So we all have a responsibility there, I think, to hold each other in a space of remembrance and remind each other, show each other that there is a way, that there are other opportunities, and that this is what we can seek. Those of us that, I say this all the time. If you want a platform, create it. You don't have to wait for somebody else's platform these days to come and get you and invite you on. Create it yourself. Whatever it is that you're doing, do it mindfully, consciously, and do it with these things in mind. Do it with sustainability in mind. Do it with the fact that we know that the climate is baking the world. Do it with knowing that we need to be working towards the same sustainability goals together. The more we can do this together, the better off, because we do and can and are changing humanity when we come together. Hello, Dr. New. It's so good to see you. And so I think that we have the responsibility to do it in our own house, quote unquote, and then you take that and you let that ripple out as far as you can, take it. But like I said, these today in this age, we don't have to wait to be invited onto a stage. The world is literally our stage. So every time you have a microphone in front of your face, use it. When you go outside of your house, be approachable. Make sure that people come in and approach you so that they can, open a conversation. It opens the connection to be able to have conversations. We can do that. We can do what we do, but where's the moreness? Are you stepping into the more that you can do? Are you stepping into the boldness that you can do? Are you really stepping into the audaciousness of being able to do what it is that you can do, right? Not just good enough to, if somebody comes to you and asks you, stand up and talk about it anyways. Are you that bold? Are you that responsible? Are you that person? Because you can be. And that's the call to all of us that are sitting right here on this stage. And I think we know that. And that's why we come together to be able to do that in a way that's magnified.
Diane, I kid you not, we're going to have to do a Batman episode because yet again, here you go. And this is what she said, and I love it. She said, whether we're talking about personal talents, technology, or any form of influence, it's a call to remember that the impact of our action can have. It's about about using our abilities to soar and lift others with us, being mindful that the ripples that we create is a great that's a great guiding principle that encourages it's a balance. I mean, it's like people are just adding things. Okay. There we go. Like I said, it is a
Guiding principle.
the guiding principle that encourages us to wield our powers wisely for the greater good, always aware that the responsibility that comes with them. And she does a little theme song to Batman. Na 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 Batman. So Diane, we got to make that happen and everything like that. But I love that. But Dr. New, how are you doing today on Wonderful Wednesday? Glad that you are here.
Busy Wednesday, but I am well. I'm grateful, thankful to be here with you, Chris, Greg. I see Monica, Jen, and of course, Diane. You have to hop on with us one day. But, the power when she just mentioned it's really the power of being mindful that our thoughts, right, our
Mhm.
thoughts, our words, and our action has an impact. And for those who don't think that they have an impact, you definitely do have impact. And what Jen just mentioned, the stage is every day that you show up, every day that we're blessed to be able to be alive in this moment, you have an amazing to make an impact. So whether you choose to play small or big, know that even the thoughts of you generating in your head, you're sending out to the universe, that has impact. So that is where you have to really hone into your power to whatever that you want to have that ripple effect. It start within us. You want to have the world in a different you want it in a different, positive, loving, whatever that you want to envision. Start being that world. Start being that way, so that way you can see your world will transform because it start within us, and you cannot expect the external world to change if we don't change. It start with us. We have to see loving kindness, and we have to have a compassionate, some empathy for others. That is how you can bring humanity together. Bringing humanity together is not seeing competition. Even if all four or five of us are doing the same thing, everyone will show up differently because we all walk a different life. We all look different, but we're all the core value of who we are. We bleed the same, right? We crave. We're gonna eat how many meals a day? Is it three or however many snack or munch on? But we all have the same. We come together for a reason. The universe brought us together for a reason. So you have to believe that there's so much higher power than yourself. And when you come from a place of servant and you coming from a place that you want to be here to make an impact, to serve, to lead, to empower, to inspire others. And you yourself are mindful of whatever that you put in your mouth, whatever the physical food, the physical thoughts, the physical digital, the person you interact to, is it positive or is it negative? All those will change your life if you start with being intentions on who
Yep.
you surround yourself with, your energy.
Absolutely, 110%. And Dr. New, we're so humbled and honored that you are our team leader in the pillar of health and wellness. And again, it's by no accident that you're here, Greg is here, Jenny is here, and Monica is here, and of course our great growing team is a part of what we're building here at Bring Humanity. I truly believe it's not a coincidence in and of itself because Keith is doing great things and adaptive. Um, Sven is doing great things in the pillar of human development. Monica is doing great things in the pillar of strengths and values. And of course, I have my hand in the community, and that's why, for some odd reason or another, I get people to get involved, and I love that. And when you really think about it, when we get connected to one another on a deep and meaningful human level, and Diane, I'm going to hold you up to that. We're going to have that Batman episode pretty soon, and I would love for you, Diane, to come share your story on Conversations for Humanity. We definitely need to make that happen. And put it on your digital napkin, Gregory. There will be a
Yes.
superhero episode of Conversation for Humanity. We'll make that happen. But I want to go back to you though, Gregory, about when we have that great power and that great responsibility. How do we actually show up to that each and every single day? How do we do that?
Well, I would agree with what Dr. New was saying. We have intention, right? Purpose. But if we kind of remove the transactional nature of how we engage and serve other people, right? And just not have expectation about it. Not only does it alleviate a lot of, unpleasantries and awkwardness about how we interact with each other, but just the act of service itself is so enriching and rewarding in and of itself, right? As Chris, you always say. And then when something does happen and you get an act of kindness or an act of service back, right? It's all positive, right? And there's no negative or any other type of
Mhm.
experience or thoughts or emotions behind it. And you can just enjoy it and receive it.
Wow, I love that, Greg. I love it. And when you really think about it, Greg, that great power and that great responsibility is so interconnected to who we really are we not?
Agreed. When we talk about superheroes, right? They always have some sort of greater purpose and they want to do something to better the communities in which they live, whether
So,
their
Monica,
specific power is slinging webs or, um, you know, saving the planet from a world-ending event. They have something that makes them unique. They have a power that they can share, and we each have that within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely 100%. But I got to ask you that very same question, Monica. With the great power and responsibility that we have come to I guess, be given to, how do we show up to that? Is it something that we really know, again, about who we are, not what we do? But because I've said that many times on our programs, that the better question to ask is not what we do, what we do, what we do. The better question to ask is who am I? And do you believe it comes from that very mindful place about knowing who we are when we have that great power and has that great responsibility attached to it?
I think so. Know thyself. I think it's very powerful here, because if we really know who we are, we don't seek power. We don't need to have power, because we know how powerful we are. And truly, power is what's really dividing the world, the society, the communities, peoples, and what's really intoxicating our brains, the need for power and control. So I think it's really, we need to, awake to our true nature and really use it wisely, because if we don't seek power, then we know how powerful we are.
Well
And
said.
with the AI, I feel like we really need to help the society and create the communities of people, like-minded people who are in the heart, because with the AI, it's a quite threatening technology to use in a society that's fully in the head and in the ego, because only then they serve themselves, not the not the world.
Absolutely. And you really think about it, Monica, I just love, again, you always are hitting a home run every time you're on our calls. Maybe the way that we actually can show up to that great power that has that great responsibility attached to it is maybe we'd just be willing to say, I'm willing to show up to it. There's no right way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. There's just the way that works best for us, even in that now moment and everything like that. And think about it. We get so critical into ourselves for whatever rhyme or reason of saying, or I could have done this, or I could have done that. I should have done this. I should have. And then we get in that minutia of how do I even show up? And I truly believe what we have built here, bringing humanity together, has gone beyond that to such an extent that people know that they have their voice not only being heard, but they are being seen for who they really are. Not what we think them to be, not what we feel them to be, but actually who they really are. And here's why I truly believe the movement that we have here at Bring Humanity Together will go so far and wide, and it's going to create impact on a level we probably not have seen in human history. And like Sven, like you said on our human development call about 3 months back, that we could be the pioneers into something much more larger than us, and that we can have a hand in that and literally change the trajectory of where humanity is not only seen in the workplace, but beyond the workplace in our very communities. So I want to go to you, Jenny, on that note. Do you see that as well here at Bring Humanity Together?
Yeah, I absolutely do. And I think that that's a responsibility even that we have, is to know that what happens in business is also happening around our dinner tables. It's happening in our homes, and our homes are happening at the work, right? There's really no way to separate. The answer there is embracing and having that integrative response. And it's why, I chose the area of business that I did, was to ensure that women are empowered financially, that they're empowered through their mindfulness, that they're empowered with what their values and their goals are, not somebody else's, but their own, so that when they go out and build their company, their piece of humanity themselves, they're building it in a way that is easy to scale. They draw the right people to them. They are able to really have accelerated impact and legacy that they're leaving, and it absolutely goes beyond us. What we're doing it. It's not that we could, it's happening. We are doing it. And so I think that that's always a really beautiful thing to point out, because if we believe that all we're doing is putting out the best of our intentions, then the best of those intentions, do they go out? Yes. Are they laser focused on what their target is? No. But if we can say this is what we are doing and it is happening right now, and we can say that and believe that, then that actually directs that into that laser focus to where it really is happening. And I think that there's it's scary, right? It can be scary. AI, the internet technology, it can be scary. It can be really scary when we walk around and we see people that believe in certain things and act certain ways that are terrifying. It's terrifying to see a certain flag being waved around in Texas, where I live, which happens on a daily. But at the same time, there's two things I wanted to say to that. One is, look at the empowerment of the people because of technology, because of AI being widespread, that mostly all over the world. There's there's places that it's not as good as it could be, but it's still there. You can still get on the internet. You can still have a platform. You can still use your voice. And and secondly, for me, I want to see that. If that's who you really are, I want to know that. I don't want to have to guess. I don't want to have to speculate. I want to be able to know that that's who you are. So there's, this radical side of acceptance for all of us to accept humanity exactly as we're showing up, because to me, that is a cry for help. It's a cry for love. It's a cry for empathy. And that does not mean that I have to physically go and interact with that person. That means that I leave my heart open. And that means that I send them that love, that care, that empathy, that compassion, just out into the world. And I let the universe direct where that's going to go. But to me, even though it looks scary, is it not kind of leading to a safer world? I don't have to guess who's my quote unquote, who I want to stay away from. Maybe I want to go, I don't have to just trust my intuition. I can see it with my own eyes in the world that we're living in. And I think that that's actually a beautiful, empowering thing.
I love that, Jenny. Thank you so much. And I want to go to Greg on that. What was your thoughts for what Jenny just shared?
When she was talking about being ourselves, right, and showing up, something she said reminded me of a conversation I had recently about Fred Rogers, right, and how he was accepting of people and appreciated them for just being themselves, how they are, right, but then also believed that they could also be the best version of themselves, right, and supported and encouraged that.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly I think that resonates with, bringing humanity together, the community that we're fostering and growing as well. With that, we ask, like, how do we show up for it? Just having the thought and asking that question is enough.
Yes.
Right? If you don't know how you can do it, show up anyways, right? If you don't know what your powers are or what your gifts that you can share, others will be able to see things in you that you may not even see yourself. Right? There is a place for you, and there's a way that you can contribute.
And I completely agree with that, Greg, because when you really think about it, if you are just willing, again, just even to show up, maybe that's where it starts, does it not? And when we just say yes to that, and say yes when hope and faith come knock on our door and we're willing to answer that call, we let that door open. And when we say yes to connection, that we want to connect and collaborate with a great many people who not only think like me, but also think differently like me. Again, we're not going to say the only people that I want to be around is only the people who believe in Tony Stark, and that's it. And I'm going to say only the Iron Man people can only be allowed in. I don't want that. And I kid you not, Greg, I even had this in my mind since we were talking about the superhero dynamic in our meet and greet call on Monday. It came to me like this, Greg. Iron Yoda. You know,
Yes.
the cross between the very wisdom of Yoda with Iron Man. I don't know how that costume would play out, but that kind of came to me. I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
Or
leave the costume to me. I got it. I
yeah.
got you.
There you go.
Yeah, but you could even take it a step further. It is that kind of connective space that we can bring two different worlds and have them become one if
Yes.
we just allow it to occur. It's already there. Because we share the same planet. We do share a lot of the same things that makes us who we are in and of itself. I mean, we all want to be loved. We all want to be appreciated. We all want to be seen. We all want to be heard. We all share those things. In the way that we can capitalize on that, and I want to go to you, Monica, on this note, is maybe we start it, Monica, from a place of love and start it from there. Do we not?
I think love is all we need, and we need to start with love first and foremost. And being in love means loving yourself, but loving others as well. So, I mean, bringing humanity together, but we need to help those people support others to awake to their true nature, because we're not in the same place, all of us, so we can't bring people together who doesn't want to be with others. They're very detached from themselves, and they're very detached from others. So just support them in really finding this true essence of who they are.
Mhm.
So only that way we can really help the world and help others to build the communities and to improve their families, relationships, and their life, in general.
Yeah, and I completely
Over
agree
to you,
with
Chris.
that because, like I said, and I have to go back to what Jurassic Park said with that great quote, and you can use the word love in there. Is when Jeff Goldblum's character said, "Life will find a way. Love can find a way. It's there and everything." So, Doctor New, I want to go to you too as well. Is there a way that we can actually bring humanity together, or is there multiple ways that we can do it?
So for me, I believe that to bring humanity together, it has to start within us. We have to have self-awareness, right? Is who we are, what are our values, and our purpose here on this life, this beautiful journey that, and then the planet Earth that we are living now. How do we show up better, the version of ourselves? And let's not compare, you know, New with Monica or Monica with Jen. We don't compare, like, right? We have to be the best version of ourselves. And how do we stay in tune to our intuitions, not only, for instance, when your health and well-being, mental health, physical health, if there's something that are not aligned or something are not right, and you go to a doctor and the doctor say there's nothing wrong with you, you need to just do whatever. Or if you're, X, Y, and Z, or if they don't see anything wrong, no lab, no nothing come out, but something is not right, then follow your intuition. Find another expertise, find another providers. The reason why I'm saying that is that everyone makes mistakes and everyone is human. And everyone, even a lab test can be, there's negative and positive, meaning the lab results can be false positive, false negative. The reason why is you have the power to be not only heal within yourself, but also if you are being proactive, then there's signals, there's things that are telling you there's pain, there's aches, there's something that's not right, that are not your normal. So always follow your intuition, jot them down, make a record of it. Always know what goes in your body and what, everything. You have to take power back to you. No physician, no doctor is no, I want to say, declaration, whether it's God, Buddha, whatever that you believe in, your higher power, higher being, is that you have the power to change your life, whether it's your health, whether it's your growth, whether it's your mental, physical well-being. But your mind have to be strong. You have to be willing to fight for your life. Not only that, and then also know that there are difference in everyone, right? And we have to be really meet people where they are. We can't just put our own bias and say you have to be this way, you have to be that way. No, no one want to be told what to do. But if
Yeah.
people are willing to learn, and people willing to say, I'm curious to learn, let's find out what other alternative ways that we can look at the problem, right? Same thing as our health. You can
Yep.
find different ways, not just a surgery, not just cutting an arm and leg, or if things that are necessary, there are might be other modalities. So just know that you have to find all the different modalities within your power and reach out and help and say, I need help. I'm not well. I'm feeling so and so. But don't be afraid to reach out and help. And you're not alone. Everyone is so important. Every life matters, right? And that is how we can bring humanity together, is that you're worthy of your own health. You're worthy of abundance, of being happy, joy, you know, to be free of suffering, no matter if it's a physical, mental, all of that. And you're worthy of it. So just know that you are important and that you matter at bringing humanity together, is that we're here and we're here to listen and we're here, with open arms. So that is what I see, Chris.
Yeah,
Dr. Nu, that's very interesting. Sorry, Chris, if I can jump here for
yeah,
a
go ahead.
second. Don't you see, Dr. Nu, that in your obviously profession in healthcare, that people who are more spiritual, I mean by spirituality being, really in tune with yourself and have this mind, body and spirit, in perfect balance. So can't you see the trends that obviously those people has less health problems or issues?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is why I'm a holistic approach of, it's a not just a physical body, mind, soul, and spiritual. We cannot forget about that, and that is where I fully believe that even if you don't believe in a higher divine, the laws of the universe is what you have to hone into, and that is where we all can be a part and kind of spread and amplify our voice, right? And amplify what we do, so that way we can reach more and more people to know that they can be healed, they can be happy, they can be, successful, they can be have abundance of joy and prosperity, and not have to put down on people, right? Not have to
Mhm.
step on people. You have to lead with love and empathy and compassionate for others. That is how the world can be better, because in true reality is that there are difference in us, meaning the color, the religion, the culture, whatever it is. But if you only see similarity, that is how you come closer together. So much alignment, right?
Yep.
You don't see the difference. So that is where it's not saying I don't see it. Yes, there is, but that doesn't mean you look into it.
Right.
Yes, you acknowledge the strength and weakness the same way. And how can we bring others that are weak up, and let's go. Let's go together, and the strength just bring them up. And that
Yep.
is how you empower others.
I wanted to
Exactly.
I wanted to add something also too, and this is just because it's really important, because I have Parkinson's, Crohn's, fibro, lupus, RA. I have tremors, seizures, migraines. I have all of these things. Okay. I practice mindfulness, spirituality, have done so my whole entire life. I have cut every single thing that there is to literally cut out of my diet. I eat ground baby food chicken, okay, and shakes. That's what I eat, with water and protein powder, okay? The reason I'm saying that is this: I don't suffer one single minute. I have so much gratitude and joy for what it is that I have in my life. I show up every single day at times 3,000 of what I could, because I choose excellence, because I choose to be able to do that. But what I wanted to add, and the reason I say all of that, is this: just because you do what's best for you doesn't necessarily mean that the ailment or the dis-ease or the illness that you have is going to go away. That doesn't necessarily happen. What changes is you. What changes is how you accept it. What changes is how you look at it. And because I struggled for 20 years wondering what I was doing wrong, that the sickness, illness, and disease wasn't going away, although I was doing everything right. And in that time period, I wasn't showing up. No, I wasn't. I was in bed. I wasn't able to be myself at all. And there's so much that goes there. But so I want to say that, because as it stands right now, our human body is meant to degrade. It's meant to decay. It's meant to return back to the earth as it is right now. And so there's so much about being healthy and having wellness and all of those things. And I love that. But just know, if you're out there and you're doing all the things and you're making all of the movements and the motions, just keep going. You're not failing. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your body. You're just mindful. You're conscious of what's happening to it. So keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep trying to find solutions. Keep making your life better. But please don't think that you're not doing something right simply because it's not going away. Right.
Yeah, and
Beautiful.
I
It's
like to
about
add,
acceptance.
yes, I like to add one thing, because when you mentioned about gratitude, is that it will take us much shift your focus, because the same as
Yes.
you can focus on, yes, I have a hurting, and so you're gonna focus on just hurting and pain and you all the frustration, or you take a gratitude. I have an arm.
Yes.
Yes, I'm having pain, but I still can use them, versus
Yeah.
others might not see, others might not be able to hear. There's other people who are less fortunate than us. So when you take it that, your pain will be lessened. Then you move on to different. So
Yeah.
wherever your mind focus is where it grows. And
Yep.
so always be in a positive gratitude for all the blessings that you have. Even the
Absolutely.
simplest thing is having our breath right now. That is
Yep.
a blessing. So that is
Yep.
where we can lift others and know that you're not alone. So reach out to us, and you are enough. And so don't feel like you are short, you're not successful, you're not healing.
Right.
Maybe there's something that others can shine a light that you like, oh, I haven't seen it that perspective, or
Right.
I haven't done that. So, yes, there are different ways to look at things. So, don't give up, and don't ever give up on yourself.
Yep.
And you're the most important. And so that is, I think, bringing humanity together is your well-being, your total well-being is worth it.
And what a powerful share, Jenny. And again, another powerful share from you, Dr. New. Greatly appreciate that. But I will go to what Diane just shared here, and we're going to be closing out the call with Greg here in just a second. She said, showing up as the best version of ourselves is like hitting two birds with one stone. It's about honoring our journey and pushing ourselves to grow, learn, and evolve. It's like planting a garden for ourselves, nurturing it and watching it bloom. But this garden doesn't just beautify our space, uh, and I have to go back. It spreads seeds far and wide. When we are at our best, we're not just lighting up our path, but also holding up the light for others. It's about setting a vibe that says, "Hey, let's elevate each other." And then she just said, "Our struggles are really are like a sandpaper. At first, they are rough, grating against in ways that we can feel pretty uncomfortable, even painful. But just like sandpaper smooths out the rough edges on a piece of wood, our challenges and struggles have a way polishing us up too. And Diane, I can't wait for you to come share your story and Conversation for Humanity too as well. And like I said, we will have a super Batman episode of that in and of itself too. We'll make that happen too as well. But Greg, today is all about you today, sir. And we're, like I said, we're just so humble and honored that you're here to not only share your story, but what led you here to bring humanity together. And I'll let you have the final word and what will be probably your final thoughts and your call to action. And Jenny, I can't wait to catch up with you, ma'am. It's been far too long and everything, so let's definitely make that happen. But Greg, I'll let you close out the call today, sir.
I just kind of wanted to highlight what everyone has shared, right? So, life can happen to us and we can let it, or we can choose how we show up for it. We can choose how we participate in it and how it impacts us, right? And that's important, and that can be powerful in and of itself. Also, when we talk about ourselves as individuals and what we have, who we are, and what we can do, right? Talking about, kind of the superhero theme that we have been carrying on this week, right? Some of the best storylines in the comics are when the heroes team up and take on a challenge together. And that's really what the sense of community is, and the power of a movement, right? And a group that can accomplish anything.
Absolutely, 110%. And Monica, you have anything to add before we go?
I can add something to what you just said, Chris, what you put, the next currency of humanity. I truly feel that the next currency of humanity is love, because it's priceless. And once we're in love, we can buy everything, because we can have everything. We have a happiness, and that's what it really matters.
Yep. But what if love and value are interconnected? Think about that for a second.
Love is all, it's always value, because once
Yep.
you're in love, once you're in soul, you don't judge, you don't compare, you don't really see others lower than you. You see others as an extension of yourself, because you love yourself, you love the world, you love humanity, and you love, Gaia, Mother Earth. So that's, that's in another self. It's like bringing everyone together into oneness, togetherness, and love.
Absolutely, 110%. I truly believe in that. And again, I am just so humbled and honored to have each and every single one of you in my life, and to all the people who have watched us today, who are actually started at almost 18 people on the call at one particular time. So kudos to you, Greg, for bringing that many people in, and I'm so humbled and honored by that. Yeah. So people wanted to know who you are, so that's a good thing, man. I can't say no to that. But again, I'm so humbled and honored to have each and every single one of you in my life, and that I can be in yours. And I truly believe this movement that we have created is going to create impact. It's going to create an awesome opportunity to not only connect, but collaborate, and maybe even build out this community even more far and wide than it already is. But really create it in a way that we can have that place and space to show up as not only the best version of ourselves, but then again, like to Greg's point, to find the gifts that maybe we don't even see that we have, and recognizing that we do have them, and really uplift it and inspire each other in a way that really cultivates growth opportunities, thriving opportunities, and so much more when we just let life happen for us versus to us. Because again, we can choose that and everything like that. And I truly believe choice is the ultimate path to freedom. So again, Dr. New, Monica, Jenny, like I said, thank you so much for joining today. I greatly appreciate that. And of course, thank you, Diane, for being the best version of Batman that you are and everything like that, because I just love that. I wish we had the theme song right now. I would have played that right now at the end of the call. But like I said, I'm just so humbled and honored. And Greg, it's all about you today, man. You have just shared a great and powerful story today. And we're so humbled and honored that you're here with us here at Bringing Humanity Together as the technical principal, and also with Adaptive. And Keith and I are just so humbled and honored. So, Greg, what will be your call to action for us all to not only bring humanity together, but truly bring that humanity into business and beyond?
The call to action that I would give to everyone is be curious, right? Make a connection. If you liked what you heard today or want to know more, reach out to any one of us. We would love to have you on board. And we believe in
Absolutely.
you and we believe that you have a place.
Diane, really? Look at this, guys. Whole donut hole. Diane, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. But again, you guys are just amazing. And like I said, I can't wait to collaborate and grow with each and every single one of you. So again, we're just so humbled and honored that you guys are here with us here at Bring Humanity Together. And again, if you wanted to get to know more about us, I will have everyone on our team listed in the comment section of on LinkedIn, because I don't know how we can do that on YouTube, but we'll figure that out later. But especially on LinkedIn, because that's our main platform, we'll definitely put every team leader there or team member and that kind of thing, and or even community member. So if you want to reach out to any one of us, we would love to have you on board. Like I said, I can't wait to start collaborating with you, Jenny, and everything. Same thing with you, Monica and Dr. New, because our pillars are going to be the very foundation that we're built upon in and of itself. So from all of us here at Bring Humanity Together and Adaptive Strategies Group, we're so humbled and honored to be with you guys here today. We will have our next call maybe on Friday for our community meet and greet LinkedIn audio call. I'll be posting that probably either later on tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. And you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. Make your day. And Greg, again, thank you so much for sharing your stories with us today. We greatly appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys.
Bye.
You guys have a great day. Make it your day.
Love you all.
Love you
Bye-bye.
all
Bye.
too.